One of the nicest features of the SL1100 is its ability to be a 100% pure voice over IP phone system. This gives you tremendous flexibility. Not only can you network your phone system, but you can network up to 5 locations. You can have voice over IP phones inside or outside your office. You can save money by replacing your phone lines with SIP trunks, and you can also utilize the desktop suite software, which integrates your phone system with Microsoft Outlook. Now, in order to gain these benefits, it requires just 2 things: a voice over IP Daughterboard card and a basic knowledge of IP addresses. We realize that not all of our customers are IT professionals. That's why we created the step-by-step video tutorial of how to quickly assign an IP address to your phone system that is in the range of your local area network. The first thing we'll need to know is the address of the local area network we're installing the phone system onto. We can do this by opening a command window. So let's click on the Start menu, and where it says Search Programs and Files, we're going to type CMD and press Enter. Once we have a command prompt window open, let's type ipconfig and press Enter. That's ipconfig and press Enter. Okay, this brings up 3 addresses. The first is the IPv4 address. This is the IP address of the computer I'm currently using. The second address is the subnet mask. The subnet mask basically defines which IP addresses are a part of my local area network. This address we're going to write down for future use. So in our case, the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. We'll call this subnet mask. The third address is the default gateway. This is the address we use to talk to the outside world. We'll want to write this number down as well. So in our case, it's 192.168.1.1, and we'll label this default gateway. Now before we move on, let's go back and look at that IPv4 address again, because it tells us something important. It tells us the address of the local area network. The network address is the first 3 groups of numbers separated by periods. In our case, it's 192.168.1. This is the network address. The very last number of the IP address is the local address of the computer that I'm on, or any device plugged into the network. So next, we need to create 2 new addresses based off of our network address. Again, 192.168.1. And these 2 new addresses will be programmed into the phone system. The first will be the address of the phone system itself, or more specifically, the voice daughterboard card. And the second will be used for voice ports such as IP phones or SIP trunks. In order to create 2 new addresses on the network, we need to first know which addresses are already being used up by other equipment. We can do this by going back to our command window and typing ARP space hyphen the letter A and press Enter. This brings up a list of all the devices currently on my network. As you can see, I have a couple of computers and a printer, all of which are getting their IP addresses assigned to them dynamically from a router, or in some cases a server. And on some networks, you may see a list of devices with static IP addresses as well. We're looking for the last dynamic IP address. In our case, it's 192.168.1.5. And we'll create the 2 new addresses immediately after that one. So we'll use 192.168.1.6 for the voice daughterboard card and 192.168.1.7 for the voice ports. I'd like to state at this time that if there is an IT administrator on site, I would strongly recommend letting them designate these IP addresses for you. However, if no IT person is available, this is an easy, do-it-yourself way to find out which IP addresses are already in use on your network. Now that we have our list of IP addresses, we're going to program them into the phone system. Now the phone system I'm working on here is loaded with our default programming. This default programming is preloaded onto every phone system we sell, and it's full of all sorts of time savers that 99% of customers are going to ask for. So if you didn't purchase your phone system from us, then your results might vary due to the programming currently in your system. Also, it's important that before entering these IP addresses, we want to unplug the phone system from all Ethernet connections. Now, if you've purchased the phone system with a VoIP Daughterboard card, the VoIP card will be pre-installed for you. So if you've just taken the system out of the box, I find it best to assign the system its IP addresses before we do any other programming. Plus, we're going to have to power off the phone system after we enter these IP addresses, so I recommend getting these steps out of the way up front, reboot the system, and then dive into your programming. If, on the other hand, you're working with an existing SL1100 phone system and you're installing a VoIP card into it now, then it would be a good idea to back up the phone system's database before changing any of these IP addresses. Alright, so let's get started. So again, with the phone system unplugged from all Ethernet connections, we're going to go to a phone and press the speaker button. Then press pound star, pound star. We're prompted for a password. That password is 12345678. And press menu. We've now entered the programming mode. The first programming code that we'll enter is 106301. This is the DHCP client mode. Our default programming has DHCP set to yes, but in this scenario, we'll want to change it to no by pressing the +1 soft key under the LCD display. This turns DHCP off. Press the menu button. Now press the mute key 2 times to back out of this program. The next program code is 101201. Here we'll see the current IP address of the CPU card in this phone system. However, because we have a VoIP Daughterboard card installed, we no longer need the CPU card to have an IP address. This IP address of the CPU card would only come into play if we did not have a VoIP card installed, so we'll want to zero this address out. So press 000, 000, 000, 000, 000, and press menu. At 101202, we're asked for the subnet mask, so we'll refer to the address that we obtained a couple of minutes ago. For us, it's 255.255.255.000. And press menu. At 101203, we're asked for the default gateway, so again we'll refer to our list and enter 192.168.001.001. Now continue to press the menu key until you reach 101209. At 101209, we're asked to program the IP address of the VoIP Daughterboard. This was the first address we created, so in my case I'll enter 192.168.001.006 and press menu. Okay, now we'll press the mute key 4 times to back out of the 1012 programming. Now enter programming code 842601. For the slot number, press 0, and then we're asked for an IP address. This IP address is going to be used for voice ports. So we're going to refer to our list and enter the second IP address we created. In our case, it's 192.168.001.007. Then press menu to save it. Now we'll press the mute key 4 more times to back out of programming and press the exit button. On the LCD display, you'll see that your data is being saved. We've now assigned a static IP address to the VoIP Daughterboard so that every time it's rebooted, we'll know exactly how to reconnect to this phone system. So at this point, it's very important to wait at least 5 minutes before rebooting this system, because even though my display has come back up, the changes are still being written to the phone system. I'll also remind you again that if you're working with a pre-existing SL1100, it would be a good idea to back up your database before powering down. So I'm going to wait 5 minutes, power off the phone system, plug an Ethernet cable into the Ethernet port on the VoIP Daughterboard card, and then turn it back on, and we'll pick back up again. Alright, I've rebooted my phone system, and now we just want to make sure that our programming changes have been updated. We can do this by going to any phone and pressing Menu 96. Then tap Menu again, and there you can see that the IP address of the CPU card has been zeroed out, and the VoIP Daughterboard card has been updated with the IP address that we created. Let's wrap this up by opening PC Pro and connecting to the phone system. Now that we've established and assigned an IP address to the phone system, we can easily connect to it using the PC Pro software. To do this, click the Connect icon in the upper left-hand corner, then enter the IP address that we created and assigned to the VoIP Daughterboard. In our case, 192.168.1.6. Enter the username SLTech, all lowercase, and password 12345678. Then press Connect. And there we go. We're now connected to the phone system. And because we turned off DHCP through the phone, it doesn't matter if this phone system is rebooted or if the power goes out, it will always retain this same IP address. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and good luck programming your SL1100 phone system. And for more tech tips and video tutorials, visit us at NECSL1100distributors.com or give us a call at 888-632-3794.